guys, Will here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2022 Range Rover Sport Autobiography.
And huge thanks to Tony and the rest of the management and staff here at Wilde, Jaguar, and Land Rover in Sarasota, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have a beautiful dealership. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. And if you're in Sarasota looking for a new premium car or SUV, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Tony.
Ever since its original release back in 2005, Range Rover has been killing it in the luxury midsize SUV game with the Range Rover Sport, quickly becoming one of the more popular and desirable vehicles in its segment. The second generation Range Rover Sport that you see here was released back in 2013, so we're approaching the 10-year mark, starting to get a little bit dated. However, we did receive a facelift back in 2018, which really didn't change a whole lot. We got new lighting, slightly different interior and tech, but you can still definitely see the second generation pre-refresh roots in the post-facelifted 2018 Range Rover Sport. So we are due for an update, kind of looking forward to it as well because I'm a big fan of the Range Rover Sport. Here we have the Autobiography trim, which is the top of the line in terms of luxury, not quite as powerful as the SVR, however we still have the same engine, a little bit detuned from the SVR's 575 horsepower. Here we're making 518 horsepower, so still enough to get this Range Rover Sport to 60 in the low 4-second range and 461 pound-feet of torque. What's really surprising to me, which we'll see once we check out the window sticker, is this SUV's fuel economy. But starting around $100,000, let's see what we get. So up front, you notice your post facelifted front end for the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover badge right up top, black and silver contrasted grille, no shiny chrome, which is a thumbs up for me. I'm liking the black accents, full front parking sensing, forward facing camera, and functional airflow in both of the front corners. Not quite sure if I can pick up that airflow, but it is functional. I'm liking the LED headlights too. Beautiful daytime running lights. We'll check those out once we start this SUV up. And the Land Rover badge in the lower right corner. I'm really loving this white metallic paint too. It's really sparkles in this Florida Sarasota sun. It's my first day here in Sarasota. It is absolutely beautiful too. Shout out Wilde, Jaguar, and Land Rover for making this review possible. Of course, the Range Rover badge right up top with your heat extractors, which is nice for a supercharged 5-liter V8, which should make quite a bit of heat. Additional heat extractor on the outside. This isn't functional, however, but I'm definitely liking the contrast with the black, silver, and the white paint. As far as the wheel and tire setup, also impressive. We get the 5-piece lug pattern, additional side sensor in the corner. Here we get these beautiful black and silver contrasted 22-inch trims. Loving the design. My favorite part though is that massive 6-piston Brembo brake caliper hiding behind it. Should really help this luxury performance SUV get to a complete stop. These 22s are wrapped in 275/40 R22 Pirelli Scorpion Zero all-season tires. Some of the better performing all-seasons in the business, so this SUV should be a great performer both on and pretty capable off-road. Continuing along, I'm really liking the blacked out A-pillars, B-pillars, and C-pillars, but I really wish the entire roofline had that black trim. I feel like the side profile would really pop in this Range Rover Sport if it had a full black roof. The mirrors are a body color. I would also like to see them blacked out with like a black metallic paint, but the white metallic is still absolutely gorgeous. We get the two-tone contrast, LED turn signal outside of it, blind spot monitoring on the glass. The glass fills up most of the frame. I'm liking the black trim for the window trim. No shiny chrome anywhere in this SUV. The door handles have this aluminum trim outside of the body color. Smart access for all four, to be expected with an SUV in this price range. I'm liking the body lines in the lower rocker panel area and the rear wheel and tire setup. It's the same thing. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper. However, it is still painted red with multiple pistons, which is a big thumbs up. You might be thinking this SUV sits really, really low, and you're right. We get the air suspension. We'll take a look at all the features right over here on the window sticker. Unfortunately, it's going to be really tough to see, but I'll try to read everything off as quickly as possible. Here we got the 2022 Range Rover Sport Autobiography in the Yulong white exterior, ivory, ebony, and ebony interior. Standard equipment features the 5-liter supercharged V8, making 518 horsepower, 461 pound-feet of torque, 8-speed auto all-wheel drive with a twin-speed transfer box, electric power-assisted steering, terrain response 2 with dynamic program, schedulable or selectable driving and off-road modes, air suspension with dynamic response and adaptive dynamics, electronic active differential with torque vectoring by braking, red brake calipers, 21-inch wheels with spare tire standard. We get these 22-inch 9-split spoke style 90/12 wheels with the gray diamond turned. I'm not quite sure what that is, but they're $1,850. The standard rims are still 21s. Comfort and convenience features these premium LED headlights with signature daytime runners, auto high beam assist, power tailgate, sliding panoramic roof with power sunshade, rain sensing windshield wipers, rear wiper, auto dim. Not going to go through all these features, but it is loaded. Hopefully you guys can pick it up on camera. We get the 10-inch touchscreen Meridian sound system, safety and security loaded, 360 camera, lane keep assist, park pack 360 parking aid, blind spot monitor, driver condition monitor, traffic sign recognition, and adaptive speed limiter. Base price with all these standard features is $100,500. Options include these rims for $1,850, $950 for the 4-zone climate control. 22-way electric front seats with a memory massage is $800. $710 for the U-Long white paint color. $710 for the premium interior protection pack. Blind spot assist $500. Extended dark gray oak veneer is $410. $355 for the heated and cooled front seats, $420 for the basic rear seat convenience pack, $200 for the cabin air ionization. Not quite sure what that is, but the wheel protection pack, chrome locks, all these options. You can pause, take a look at all of these, totaling this SUV out after a $1,350 destination to $109,280. But as far as fuel economy, you got to check this out. I'm not quite sure how, but with the supercharged V8, we're still getting 17 city, 22 highway, 19 combined. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty impressive to me. I was not expecting to get near 20 MPGs combined in this really high performance, pretty heavy midsize SUV. But anyway, the rear styling, I'm really liking that black trim. Again, I wish the spoiler and roof were all blacked out too. An additional side sensor in the lower left corner, full rear parking sensing, LED taillights, reverse light and turn signals too. Really liking the design, super unique. Sport badge P525 Autobiography right underneath it. Range Rover in the middle portion with that aluminum trim right above the license plate. Shout out Wilde Land Rover in Sarasota, Florida for making this review possible. We'll take a squat back here, get a good look at your rectangular exhaust tips, but let's start this 5-liter supercharged V8 up and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was of course the sound of the 5-liter supercharged V8 sold by Land Rover Range Rover for this Range Rover Sport Autobiography. As soon as we figure out this latch, we can open it up. Kind of tricky, but thumbs up for the struts, to be expected. Your 5-liter supercharged V8 right here making 518 horsepower, 461 pound-feet of torque. Similar motor to the Jaguar F-Type R that we already reviewed in this channel. Similar setup to the SVR Range Rover Sport, but slightly detuned. I'm still liking it. You see your strut tower braces connecting your strut towers to the chassis, so should really help when it comes to handling right up front. We don't get any additional supports in front of your radiator, but still pretty solid when it comes to airflow. We can shut this hood right up, take a step back. You can get a good look at your daytime running lights. I'm a big fan of them. The front end in general just looks super clean and old school Range Rover. As far as the interior, well, before the interior, if you didn't notice, we also get those fog lights in the lower corners of the front end. But again, as far as the interior, we can take a step over here and really check it out, because remember, this is the Autobiography trim. Really impressive when it comes to luxury and features. We get the beautiful contrasted leather with the contrast stitching in the center, aluminum switches for the door handles, touch sensors for the mirror controls, 3 speakers on the door panel. Look at the speaker grill. Really high quality aluminum, super high quality aluminum resistance for the door handle, soft touch, wood trim. It's not an open pore wood, but it's still a beautiful trim. Hopefully you guys can pick it up. I'm liking the aluminum above it. Soft touch even for the bottom area, lined with felt. You're probably not going to fit any bottles in here, but you can easily fit 2 footlongs. Under the door handle, you can see this little wood trim opens up, and it's all lined with felt. You get some secret storage. You can hide some secret stuff in there. Stepping inside, we get the Range Rover nameplate. Beautiful perforated beige seats. Look at that headrest. Such a high quality interior, guys. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. Adjustable lumbar, adjustable bolstering, and adjustable thigh support. Really high quality seats, Range Rover, as we step inside, as we mentioned. But as far as the interior itself, first thing we notice is the steering wheel. We get the perforated leather for everywhere your hand will touch, and this aluminum trim in the middle. The middle portion around the horn is also leather wrapped with the Range Rover in the center of the horn itself. Really aggressive sounding horn, and that's with these dual pane windows. This vehicle is extremely isolated, and the dual pane windows are very thick. I keep forgetting that the window controls are up top, but they're auto one touch, as we mentioned. The steering wheel controls on the left side, you get the volume adjustments. You can skip your songs, access the menu, call and voice commands. On the right side, cruise control, heated steering wheel, limiter for the hill descent control, and lane departure warning and lane keep assist. Truly loaded with features to be expected with an SUV in this price range. As far as this little gauge display, we get 12-inch gauges, 190 for the speedometer. It's not labeled 190, but we still get a stock for it. This SUV is obviously not going 190 miles an hour, but it's still nice to get the high speeds for the speedometer. On the right side, about a 6,500 RPM red line, and inside the speedometer we also get a digital speedo with traffic sign recognition. You press the menu button and you can now adjust between the display, information panel, layout. So as far as layout, you can adjust between two dial, where you have an analog speedometer on the left side and a analog tach on the right, 6,500 RPM speedometer or tachometer. One dial, you can still see the tach with a digital speedo in the center, traffic sign recognition, and your map on the right side. Full map allows you to see exactly that. Media shows you a digital speedo, and your songs. Driver assistance shows you basically the exact same thing except the driver assistance display above it. But my personal favorite to look at all times would just be this two dial, so we'll leave it right over there. Really liking the gauge display to the left of the steering wheel. We get more of that wood trim, aluminum surrounding the vents, interior lighting, and a tailgate release. Power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. However, you might notice there's nothing on the left side. The adjustment is on the right. This is a British SUV after all, and we all know the British like to do things a little bit differently. The paddle shifters are aluminum, super high quality click, auto headlamps, and auto high beams. You can adjust your daytime runners too. On the right side, we get rain sensing wipers, to be expected. The dashboard, super gushy leather. Same for this middle portion. Really liking this 10.25 inch screen. Dual touchscreens for the media and the climate controls. As far as the climate adjustments, we currently have the cooled seats. You can adjust it right over here, and also have your heated seats. I'm personally not going to use the heated seats because it's a pretty hot day right now in Sarasota, Florida. Fully adjustable though, you can isolate the back for the driver and the passenger. Climate here too. Controls the temperature inside of the vehicle. We can put this to low setting. You have the vent turned nice and low. Vehicle settings, dynamic program. We can adjust between eco. A little bit of lag in the screen, but we can adjust between the eco, comfort program, snow, off-road, and all that. My personal favorite at all times would probably just be to adjust between comfort and dynamic, and we'll see what the differences are. Up top, you press the navigation button, and it shows us our map, which is a super responsive screen too, pretty high when it comes to resolution as well. Press the home button, and it returns us right back to where we were. Call settings, media, Bluetooth, camera. As far as cameras, let's check them out. We do get a 360 overhead, which is nice. When we put the car into reverse, we get a backup camera, which is adjustable. You can also check out your forward facing. Both have guidance lines and trajectory, as well as 360 sensing. The tech in this SUV is fantastic. We get the manual shift controls in the proper direction to upshift and downshift, but that's about it. You put it right back into park by pressing the park button. It says Land Rover right in front of your gear selector. I'm liking it. You also have the manual shift controls with these paddle shifters on the wheel. This wood trim continues. You can disable your traction control, hill descent control. The air suspension can be adjusted right here. Low gear for off-roading, and the drive mode selector is controlled with this dial. You press this button and it turns everything into auto mode. So we'll start this review off in auto, transition into dynamic, and just see what the overall differences are. Electronic parking brakes, aluminum. You open up this compartment, it exposes two cup holders and a small little area to put your key. Nice and flush. So you can close it right up, and it makes everything look a lot more premium. The key doesn't let it close completely, but not the biggest deal. I'm not liking really this shiny chrome. I kind of wish we had more of that leather trim, because your knees just going to be smacking against some harder materials. But the armrest is super soft, nice high quality leather, decent space, and it's like a two-tier storage. Not quite sure what the purpose of this tier is. I guess you could throw some business cards or something along those lines up here. Open her up, and it shows us a really deep storage. You can easily fit a 2-liter bottle of soda, maybe 2 in there, and a couple iPhones in that cubby. SIM card, 2 USB ports, and a 12 volt. Kind of looks like a cigarette lighter, but it is not, just a cover for your 12 volt. Pretty impressive. As far as the glove box, you press this bottom button and it opens up a massive felt lined glove box. You're easily fitting 25 to 35 license plates. Probably fit in 2 pairs of shoes with no problems either. You press this top button and it opens up the second tier of glove box, which is nice. We get an additional 12 volt in there. Everything's lined with felt, and I'd expect you to fit probably a pair of shoes, probably between 15 to 20 license plates. Pretty spacious frameless rear view mirror with 3 garage home link settings on it. The headliner is also super soft. We can open up the shade to the sunroof, and that did not open up the shade, so you have to double click the other button and it opens up the shade. You can see massive panoramic moonroof. As soon as the shade opens up, we'll open the roof up as well, and we'll see how far it opens. It's a pretty slow process because the glass panel is huge. I'm sure it's very, very heavy. Wow, opens up pretty far. Let's see if it goes any further. It does not, but it still goes out basically to the second row. Poke our way out of here. It is a beautiful day in Sarasota, Florida, sunny and 90 degrees, but that's a little bit hot for a sunroof being open. But we'll leave the shade open so you guys can get a good sense of the light brought into the cabin thanks to this panoramic moonroof. Close up the tilt too.
The front seats also have these additional armrests with these adjustments in them too, which can be swapped out for some nicer looking flashy knobs, but still pretty nice from the factory. Both of the front seats have these armrests in addition to this pretty soft center console.
But that's about it for the front seat, guys, in this beautiful 2022 Range Rover Sport Autobiography. Let's check out the back seat, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. All right, guys, stepping in the back seat of the 2022 Range Rover Sport Autobiography. Still soft touch up top, 3 speakers on the door panel. Nice aluminum grille for all 3 of the speakers too. Super soft for the armrest and middle portion. Lock and unlock. Nice resistance for the aluminum door handle. This wood trim does not open up like it does up front. The bottom area is still a really nice rubberized material. It's not quite a soft touch, but still a thumbs up. No Range Rover nameplate, but still have that aluminum piece. The rear seats still pretty well bolstered. You get the perforated beige leather. Nice material, super soft. We'll move this foam bracket out of the way, but taking a step inside, we can really check it out. And as far as legroom, I'm a little over 6 feet tall and I still have plenty of space for my legs. My foot space is a little bit low. The seats are really low to the ground. The seats don't adjust forward and back, but they do recline. The seats are currently in their furthest reclined mode, and I'm pretty comfortable back here. The seats are extremely comfortable for back seats. I like the wood trim surrounding your 3rd and 4th zone climate. What I don't like is I don't see any heated or cooled seats back here. Kind of would be expected with an SUV in this price point. Additional 12-volt 2 USB-Cs. The air vents blow directly in your face, which is nice, and a light which is touch sensor and LED. Ton of light brought into this cabin too, thanks to this massive moonroof which goes almost out into the trunk area. This little center cubby, you drop this little aluminum latch and open it up, and massive, super luxurious here. 2 cup holders outlined in aluminum. You press this button and it opens up a little secret storage. Probably fit a couple iPhones in there, and everything is really, really soft leather material. We can close this thing right up. That's about it for the back seat here. We of course get map pockets behind both of the front seats. Let's check out the trunk real quick and then take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, underneath the Range Rover badge, you get a button which opens up your tailgate automatically. I also like how the wiper is integrated flushly with the spoiler area. But here you have it, your cargo area. Not the largest, of course. The standard Range Rover is going to be a much larger vehicle, the 3-row variant of the Range Rover. This is just the mid-size Sport, but still pretty spacious. You can also adjust the air suspension with a click of a button. I'll show you guys the difference between the highest and lowest modes right over here. But if you have pets, this should really help them enter in and out of your Range Rover Sport. We get a tonneau cover so no one passing by will see what's inside of here, and some secret storage, which is kind of tough to access with one hand, but I'll try my best, and that's where we have our spare tire. But that's about it with this trunk area. To shut it up, you simply press this button right up top, and the tailgate closes up, and as soon as it does, we'll take this 2022 Range Rover Sport Autobiography out for a drive. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2022 Range Rover Sport Autobiography. Let's take it out for a drive. And the first thing I notice is the steering is surprisingly on center, and it has a pretty solid heft to it too. Not laughably light like a lot of luxury mid-size SUVs we reviewed in this channel. And the throttle, it doesn't feel overly sensitive. As far as our current mode, we're in auto mode. Nice and smooth ride. The air suspension here, as you'll see, well, you won't really see, but you can take my word for it. Air suspension is unbelievable. You really don't feel just about anything on the road. This is one of the softer air suspensions we reviewed in this channel. Right here, we got these covers. Don't even feel them that they're even there. Super soft. We'll take a step out into the highway real quick as soon as we get the chance, and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, taking a step out onto this multiple lane highway, wheeling into it about halfway. Ooh. Wow. That felt really strong. And you look down, you're going a lot faster than you think you are, because this SUV is incredibly powerful. Wow, that was only half throttle, and this thing just gets up and goes. But we'll turn around right here, try one out in dynamic mode, and see what the differences are as soon as we get the chance. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we got first gear on the gas. Oh! Wow, this thing can get up and go. It is a beast. And dynamic mode, you hear a little bit more through the exhaust as far as like a little highway pull. Whew. Really throaty exhaust note too. Sounds nice. Wow. Yeah, the torque in this SUV is really something else. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. 0 to 60 in the low 4-second range. Definitely nothing to joke about, but in dynamic mode, you press and hold the paddle shifter and it returns you to a full automatic. And even in dynamic mode, we still have our overdrive gears turning around 1400 RPM and just cruising along at around highway speeds. You feel just about nothing. The ride quality is absolutely fantastic. We'll try to turn around over here, head back to Wilde Range Rover and Jaguar of Sarasota. But wow, what a beast. You feel it's a pretty rough road area. There's some construction going on, and it feels still absolutely excellent right here. We can make a real world U-turn. You can check out the turning radius. Pretty good on the gas. Woo! Wow. But it looks like we have a red light coming up right here. Should give us a good opportunity to try an acceleration off the line. And that's probably what we're going to wrap this review off at, because this is an impressive SUV. The luxury is up there. The materials are fantastic. The only SUVs in this price range we reviewed in this channel so far are the Audi SQ8, which was also an incredible SUV, comparable when it comes to performance, but in terms of like looks, I personally prefer the styling on the Range Rover Sport. We also reviewed the Maserati Levante Modena S, which has the Ferrari-based twin-turbo V8 engine, which sounded incredible. But this 5-liter supercharged V8 also sounds incredible. As soon as this light turns green, we can try an acceleration off the line, and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, off the line. Oh, yeah. Woo! Yeah, this thing can get up and go. All in all, this is a fantastic luxury SUV. The ride quality is truly phenomenal. We ran over some bumps back there that felt like they didn't even exist. Truly one of the softest air suspensions that we've had the chance to review on this channel. Better ride quality than the Wagoneer, Jeep Wagoneer. Better ride quality than the Ram 1500 Limited. And that says a lot. This Range Rover Sport Autobiography is an excellent luxury SUV. And in dynamic mode, it actually becomes a reasonably good performer too. Not quite as good of a performer as the SVR. If you prefer performance over luxury, go with the SVR. But if you prefer a balance between the two, this is absolutely fantastic. I would definitely recommend anybody who has the money, you have $100,000 you're willing to spend on a luxury performance SUV, to definitely put this one on your list. Compared to the Audi SQ8 reviewed in this channel, I personally think that this V8 engine with a supercharger sounds better than Audi's V8 with the twin turbo. The Audi also doesn't make quite as much horsepower with the SQ8. This has a little bit more. And the interior, I personally prefer the materials for the Autobiography a little bit more than the materials of the SQ8. Compared to the Maserati Levante Modena S, that was much more expensive. That car was over $130,000. But that V8, that twin turbo V8, I personally think sounds a little bit better than this V8. But in terms of luxury, this SUV is miles ahead of the Maserati Levante. So again, it all goes by what you prefer. If you're looking for the perfect balance between luxury and performance and off-road capability, I really don't see how you can beat this. But other than that, I'd like to give a huge thank you to Wilde, Jaguar, and Land Rover here in Sarasota, Florida, for making this review possible. And a huge thanks to Tony too for helping me get the keys to this beautiful 2022 Range Rover Sport Autobiography. I definitely recommend anybody looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Sarasota area to check out Wilde, Jaguar, and Land Rover and ask for Tony. Other than that, I'd like to give a huge thanks to all of you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. This is one of the more impressive vehicles we got the chance to review in this channel so far. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know I have endless gratitude for all the subscribers. You know, the channel's just not possible without you guys, and I really have a huge appreciation for each and every one of you and your constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars or trucks you'd like to see reviewed in this channel too. And I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.